Here's a new way to buy some cheap land for as little as $1,000. And when you go live, you screw up the intro. Cheap land for $1,000 is what we're going to talk about here today in this live stream, this video. If you're watching the replay, we're going to talk about a brand new way for you to find some dirt cheap land. As you know, today the world is crazy. $2 trillion wiped out of the stock market like that. I bet you some of those folks wished they had some real estate. And guess what? They're not making any more real estate. So what I want to do in this live stream here in this video, if you're watching the replay, is show you how to buy and find some cheap land that you can go, you can flip, you can make money on. You can take that, you can buy more expensive properties and do this over and over again, which is the name of the game here in today's video. So this, for most people, is a totally new way of buying real estate through government seized properties, through tax liens, tax deeds, and with the wonderful power of the internet, you guys can do this stuff from the comfort of your home, which is absolutely awesome. Tax liens and deeds changed my life over 20 years ago. I was working in the oil rigs, hating life, grinding it out. Next thing you know, I was flipping property left and right. So what we're going to do here today is something very, very special. Many of you guys know him by his colored shirts that are world famous out here today. But I'm going to patch them in here right now. We're going to go through, we're going to find these properties live in front of your eyes. We're going to research so you can follow along, do this at home. Some of you guys will get some of this property here in the next couple days. So without further ado, the best dressed man in the tax lien and deed game, man of multiple talents. Welcome, Mr. Corey Chason. Woo, coming in hot, beautiful shirt, sunglasses. This man can melt guitars.
What's up, everybody? Yeah, Corey here.
The man.
Oh,
Corey,
man.
thank you for joining us here. Tell us, 20 seconds. What is this guitar? Does it have
Oh, yeah. Well, I was just on tour with John Mayer. And yeah, this is a John Mayer.
This is a John Mayer guitar.
John Mayer guitar. It's got a signature somewhere.
So if I got that guitar, I wouldn't have to practice?
That's right. It actually instantly makes you a better guitar player.
Nice.
I'm all turned around. Hold on.
Corey's
Good thing we're not live, right?
Good thing it's not live. We didn't plan out any of this.
Edit that out.
100% spontaneous. But
That's
many
right.
folks are watching the replay.
Yeah.
So Corey is the in-house GIS expert. So we're going to show you guys where some of this property is right now. You're going to be able to follow along and have a good time here with us today, because this is a different way, and for many of you guys, a new way to get into real estate. If you've been struggling, if you want out of the 9-to-5 grind, or whatever your reason is for being here to get into real estate, if crypto, you lost everything, you're losing in the stock market, this is a great investment to be in. So as we get in, if you like this stuff, do me a favor, thumbs up on the video, subscribe. And Corey, let's show these guys some cheap properties that they can get into right away and how to research.
Nice. Sweet. So today we're going to focus on Michigan. So Michigan has tax deeds. And yeah, we were trying to find this website a couple of weeks ago. I just actually stumbled on it again. There's so many different websites you can find. Sometimes it's hard to keep track of all of them. But this is Michigan's county tax auction. So tax-sale.info, which is a kind of a sketchy looking URL. We always warn people about like fake websites and stuff. This one, it kind of looks a little fake-ish, but it's actually the real one, I promise. And so you can kind of scroll around and look here. But what we want to do is we want to go to the view available properties, and then we've got these surplus properties here. So you can click the upcoming auctions. I'll zoom in a little bit there, but we want to click on surplus properties. And what that's going to do is that's going to pull us to all the stuff that didn't sell at the previous auction that they're kind of auctioning off post sale. And so you can read the rules here. I'm not going to go through them all, but you can see that you can pay with, it looks like there's a $30 deed recording and a $20 processing fee. With credit card, there is an extra fee on top of it, but you can pay via credit card.
How cool is that? Like, you guys can literally use the bank's money to do this. The banks, here's a fun fact with tax liens. The banks are one of the largest investors. So if you have cash in the bank, your money might already be in tax liens. So let's beat the bank at their own game here, which is a lot of fun. As you'll see, Corey's going to Michigan here today. Once again, don't get tied down by the location. You can do a lot of this stuff from home these days. And it's all about the numbers and the spread and what's possible. So open your mind up, because in today's world, we have literally the whole country at your fingertips that you guys can do this stuff remotely. So sorry, back to you, Corey.
Nice, sweet, cool. So yeah, I'd recommend just reading those rules. Good to just kind of have under your belt so you know what's going on. You can also see all the different counties you can click on for the upcoming sales. But these are the surplus property sales. And we're just going to go to Jackson. That's kind of the county I was looking at before. And it's got a few properties here, which is great. So some of them, they'll have like little pictures of the GIS on the front, like these ones here. Some of them don't. You need to click into them. But we're just going to take this first one here as an example, and we'll click it. And then we can kind of scroll here. There's like these 3 little buttons here. We can kind of scroll and see what we've got. We've got some photos of the land. And so this photo it looks like an abstract art photo. I don't know what that photo is supposed to maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way. No, it's still confusing if it's upside down, but it does give you your address here. It gives you the starting bid, I believe that is, or the state. Oh, never mind. State equalized value. So 50% of the property. Yeah.
So already out of the gate, we have like a $4,000 spread with perhaps a beautiful gazebo.
That's right. Correct. Yeah. Which we can go back to right here. Look at that. So, yeah, and then it shows you the current tax. But what's cool, you can add this to your favorites. You can see it has 1,600 views. You got the legal description here. And then it kind of shows you and gives you a breakdown of kind of what's going on here, the financial information. So that's always just good to have a read through if this is a property that interests you. You can click this map button. It'll actually take you to the Google Maps address. And so something like this, where it's Google Maps will get you close. There's an app called Land Glide that will actually, you can input the parcel number and it will pull it up on your phone. There's like a little, I can't show you because I don't have it on my phone, but it's like a little blue dot, and it's like the Google Maps blue dot that follows you around. It will show you the parcel outline. It's really cool. It's worth getting if you're doing tax deeds and you're driving a lot of properties. So that's Land Glide. I think it's like $10 a month. So good to look at. Good to grab. But as far as research goes, and using the GIS which is something we always talk about, is you always want to make sure that you use the GIS to look at these properties to make sure your boundary lines are good and that you're not buying a property whose boundary lines look like this, which you could, we were joking earlier, you could maybe put a ultimate Frisbee field on it, or
yeah. We were just doing a session where people like, what are some red flags to avoid when getting into this type of property? And like, this is literally not only a red flag, but a red line of what to avoid. So when you're buying these cheap properties, like we just had one of our guys, he bought a property. What did he buy it for, Corey? Like $1,500?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He bought it for $1,500 and then sold it for $3,500, made a quick $2,000 on this property. There are thousands and thousands of these properties just sitting out there right now that you guys can go buy for a couple $100, a couple $1,000, and just get into the real estate game with very low risk. They're mortgage free. It's awesome. But we need to pay attention to these maps because you don't want to buy things that are in the middle of a forest, the middle of the desert, the middle of nowhere, or just some weird lot like this that, is maybe a landing strip. But it's a great example. Corey's going to show you guys some bad examples as we go through this.
Yeah.
And feel free, put your questions in. Put your questions in the box. We will answer the questions. If you guys like this stuff, thumbs up. And remember, everybody tuning in, there's a totally awesome book below in the description, The ABCs of Tax Lien and Deed Investing, that is below, that'll show you guys how to start. It's totally free. You can't even try to give us money for it because there's nothing there. It's just free. It's in the description below. So check that out.
Truth. Cool. Okay. So now the next step, GIS. So this looks cool, but we want to just verify that the land is what, like, decent, not a piece of land that you could land a plane on. So this county makes it really easy. And in a future video, we'll show you from start to finish, like from like Google to this point. But this county actually makes it really easy where they have a GIS mapping link. And there are a fair number of, like, all the real auction platforms, they'll actually have a link to the GIS right on it. And so it makes it easy. So I can actually just click this GIS mapping. Now, it doesn't pull the parcel ID over, but that's okay. We can scroll up here to the parcel ID, which is right here. And we can just copy and paste this in. So I'm going to hit Command C on my keyboard, or right click and click copy. And then we can just paste it right here. And luckily, it you can see it auto populates here, and then it pulls us right to the parcel. And so this is super handy. It makes it really easy. I will say one thing that might happen is it might not pull it up, and that's because it might not recognize these dashes. And so you might need to pull out these dashes in order for it to recognize it. Sometimes the GIS, the county doesn't post the parcel ID the right way. It needs to be fed into the GIS. So you might need to take stuff like that out. Let's actually, you know what, let's see if that works even like that. This might not actually work. Okay, it did. So it was smart enough to figure it out. So that's great. But now we can see here that we can see all the land and stuff. Another thing that might happen is you might, there's usually this thing called themes. It might be called layers. A lot of times the GIS will auto default and start like this, which is fine. You can see the parcel lines, but it makes it hard to put like an image of, is this in the middle of nowhere? Is there a house nearby? And so on the right-hand side here, you can see there's different layers. Well, it's called a theme in this one, but it's technically a map layer. And so we have 2020 aerials, 2015 aerials, 2011, 2207. And so we want to go to the newest one. And so we can overlay that on here. Oh dear. And then we can see kind of exactly what's going on. So we see it's this parcel here. It's actually not in the middle of nowhere. It's in an area. I don't know this area well enough. I'd have to do some research, but you know, we've seen parcels in much less desirable areas.
Yeah, what's the opening bid on this one again?
$1,000.
$1,000
minimum bid, $1,000. Yeah,
gazebo.
Yeah, gazebo land. And so that's the GIS. And then I would always keep this in a spreadsheet, and then if you click enter, it oh dear, it should you'll often get distracted. Your mouse will click, like if you accidentally click, it might go to this one. So it's always a good idea just to kind of have that parcel number there, so you can click enter and it will pull it back to the right one. But then you can do your research, and then you could even map out kind of the streets and stuff where it's close to. And I would always trust this GIS over Google Maps link over an address. The address might say something completely different, but what the county is going off of is this GIS parcel line. So this is important to keep in mind, that this is the number one. This is the thing you want to look at. So
where are we here again? We're in Jackson County.
Jackson County, Michigan. I was going to say Mississippi, but Jackson County, MI, right at the top there.
Yeah. So what we're looking at here is a lot of the times the taxes here need to be paid by March 31st. They conduct a lot of their sales via public auction. So these ones, odds are they didn't sell. A lot of the auctions here are online, which is great. And you can buy these things via credit card, which is awesome. Okay. So what's really fun about this is it's such an easy entry into real estate for the average person to get started. Corey, it looks like we've got another lot here we can show the folks.
Yeah, so this one's a little, I picked this one because it has a to be announced minimum bid, which might mean it's probably maybe better than some of the other ones. We can see the state assessed, what is that? State equalized value is $25,000. So it's much higher. And so we can go to the GIS mapping here and then drop that in there and just kind of see where this one is. So this is one. Yeah. So this is like a legit like house, or it was a house in 2020. It may have been grown over or burned down since then, which is why we want to get eyes on it. But you know, this is in the middle of town. And so actually, you know what?
Let's do the street view on this thing and see what's going on and see what types of market values. So for everybody watching, maybe if you're just tuning in, we're finding some super cheap land. And this is the process of doing real estate in an unconventional way that's going to be new for a lot of you guys. And what I love about this is it allows anybody to get into the real estate game. These days, for the average person, you're working your job, you're getting squeezed. This is an entry point that anybody can do. So as you watch this video, if you're watching the replay, follow along, start looking into this stuff. You can buy this stuff with your credit card, and you can be flipping it and using the bank's money to do it. So check this out. Corey's going to pull up the street view here. So the county has this assessed at 25 grand. On Zillow, what are we dealing with? And anybody, keep your questions going because we will answer your questions here shortly.
Let's see here.
And as Corey pulls that up, remember, guys, in the description below, you can get the ABCs of tax lien and deed investing. And this will show you guys exactly how to start. We have all the directories. Obviously, we're showing you how to start here today. But we took all of this stuff, all the county phone numbers in these directories, and it's free in the description. We used to sell this stuff. Now we give it away. We took our DVDs, put them on demand as well to help everybody out. And obviously, if you want to speak to us, there's a link in the description below. You can book a call if you're interested in some mentoring and some help. So back to Corey here. We're looking at this property. What do we have?
We're trying to find the house number here. It's one of these. Oh, it's probably this one with the... This could be this one. Oh, yeah, there it is. Look at that. So it's got that sign on it. It's got the probably a delinquent tax sign.
What's the date of the Google map there?
So this one says August 2019. You can see it up there. So we have, yeah, all the way back to October 2012 and then August 2019. Yeah, so it looks like it's definitely overgrown here. Who knows if that, hopefully that tree's not like going through the house. But this is like a legit. Now, this might be on hold TBA because it might be like currently being paid off. It's hard to know. We have to talk to the county about that. But this is one that's definitely worth checking out. But we have a estimate of 120,000 minimum bid. We don't know what the minimum bid is, but it's definitely a property that is in. It's definitely a house, so that's cool, really cool. But I was able to pull that address from this GIS here on the right-hand side. You can see it gives you the owner information. The Jackson County Treasurer actually owns it right now. And then the parcel ID, which we had, and then the address, and then the class, acreage, all that fun stuff. So, yeah, so that's pretty cool. A bunch of questions coming in. That's great.
Yeah, so this is just a great example of a property that came up. There's some cheap ones. This one to be announced. We looked at the first property. The bid is $1,000. The county has it assessed at $5,000. But here's the thing to keep in mind is the county assesses these things often a lot lower than what they're actually worth. Like we'd mentioned before, as far as the things to avoid, you want to use that GIS map and avoid looking at properties that are just in the middle of nowhere. If it's a weird, odd-shaped thing. Now, that being said, if it is weird and odd-shaped, and next to like a major road, you could put billboards on there, rent it out, get some residual income and stuff like that. So, man, we got lots of good questions. So Corey and I are going to just bang out some of your questions here because we appreciate everybody tuning in. If you're just tuning in, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you like this stuff. You can share this with your friends if you like it. So Corey and I will take turns. Dennis is saying, do I need to go through a title company to sell my land to make sure everything is on the up and up? So you can definitely use a title company. They can be doing, to make sure getting you a warranty deed perhaps. However, with a lot of this cheap land, you're going to be selling it via quit claim deed because it's so cheap. So you can just quit claim deed it. Everybody get the notary involved and away you go. And you can do owner financing on this stuff as well. Like you could buy it for $1,000, sell it to somebody for 10, take 2,000 down and make $200-300 a month and be off to the races. Let's see. What do we have? What do you need to get started?
Let me show you
this. You need to be watching these videos on our channel, which is the way to go. And then you need to start calling counties. So we have the directory totally free below all of these directories. Like, I want to go ahead. I want to call, where are we here? North Dakota. Boom. All the phone numbers are there ready for you guys. We have the book that walks you through it step by step. It's free. It's totally free, guys. There is actually nowhere online you can currently give us money as of right now. So there's no switch or anything like that. If you want, you guys can book a call with us. We can have a discussion. If you're interested in mentoring, we do that. Okay. But we give away everything you need to get started. All right. Nice. Trucking along. Let's see. The list from my county came out yesterday. I can afford one property out of 31. It's not valuable. So start looking at the county next door. Start looking at counties around. Look at these counties. You can buy this stuff with your credit card. Go out, get a credit card. Like my first training, I had to put on 2 credit cards to make it happen, right? And then I got into the business. So let's see. Would buying a property to use as my primary residence give you an advantage over an investor? So in a way, yes, because maybe you want to pay more. if it's going to be a primary residence. But if you want to get something as a fixer-upper, maybe put in some elbow grease to raise that value, it's also a great option as well. Let's see. Can you explain unbuildable primitive vacant parcel? Corey, did you close that window with the strip?
No, I did not.
So we had that one. Well, Eddie, we're going to come back, or Corey's going to pull that up here to show you guys just an example of a bad lot, something bad that you want to avoid. Okay.
Yeah. And you're basically just looking for something like would someone else, would someone want to build on this?
Yeah. Exactly.
And it's like, or would someone even want to like you in theory, you could buy this and individually like separate it and sell it to each of these people, but the chances of those people wanting that much land is probably thin.
Yeah.
And you don't have any access to that either. That's a big thing to look at. Like you don't have legal access because you're trespassing on other people's property to get to that piece of land. And so you're actually legally not even allowed to really get to that land.
Yeah. So that is a perfect example of something you want to avoid. For the most part, we want nice square pieces of land and lots close to major roads. Here's another example of a funky monkey here.
Yeah. Yeah. Even that one, like you can't get to it. You'd have to trespass on these people's property. And so we just avoid it.
You'd have to chopper in. You have to long line in.
Chopper in and put a billboard on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Chopper and a billboard. Yeah.
Excellent. Let's see. I would like to know when selling land on terms how the deed is transferred to the buyer once they have fulfilled their obligation. Yeah. So, you can use a title company, no problem. But for a lot of this cheap land, we just use quitclaim deeds. Just boom. You can sign it over and then go register the deed with the county, and you're off to the races. But you can always use a title company. And if you really want help, you can contact Tax Title Services. They are a great company specializing in title with tax liens and deeds. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. What do you got?
Sorry, one of the comments later on. You'll see it. It's funny.
Okay. Great. Let's come down to it. Yeah. Looking for a duplex for rental. All right. So for anybody looking for rental property, this is a great way to go in the business as well. Download the county sheets. You can sort it by bedroom, bath, and things like that, and just focus on duplexes. There's plenty. What we love about tax liens and deeds and government seized properties, there's everything. There's everything out there, from greenhouses to restaurants to, car shops, auto body shops. We bought a funeral home once. There's all sorts of weird, fun stuff you guys can make money at on this thing. Is it best to see everything in person, or has the internet completely fixed that? So for the most part, back in the day, the golden rule was do not buy anything you can't see in person, because we didn't have access to what we have now as far as like being able to send people there. We got pretty good maps. The golden rule with this stuff, though, is you want fresh pictures. All right. So what is it, Corey? Airtasker?
Airtasker. Yep.
Yeah. So there's a site, Airtasker, for $20-$30. Send somebody there, get some pictures, especially if it's land. That's super straightforward to get some pictures taken, which is great. Easy peasy. Let's see. Pennsylvania has a lot of auctions. Clinton County is a city, or is Clinton County a city or town? Is it popular? We have not. We've done lots in Pennsylvania and Philly, but we have not done Clinton.
Yeah,
County.
just do some research. Look up on Neighborhood Scout. Look up population size, and it'll give you an idea, area vibes on what the area is like. Yeah,
Michigan. Let's see. Has so many sales. It's great, guys. Michigan has so many sales happening right now. There's so many of these properties just sitting there that you can go out and get. So here's what I would do is I would go, and I'm not selling this. It's free in the description below. And you guys can just pull up Michigan in here, start calling, going to the websites, compiling your list, and get after it. Scoop these things up. Like, this is your entrance into real estate investing that can really help you, start building your investments at a cheap price. Like, you can buy this stuff on your credit card and start flipping it. Let's see. I'm looking into Berks County. They have 1,200 properties. Yeah, 1,200 properties right there. Totally awesome.
There it is.
Oh, Mike. We're gonna.
Yeah, you should show.
All right, Mike.
Come on,
Mike is in the bathroom. We appreciate you, Mike.
Yeah, thanks, Mike.
because we've all been on YouTube.
We've all been there. Yeah.
We've all been there many times. So that is
you're
an
in good
honest
company.
man right there. So good stuff, guys. Lots of good questions coming in. We're going to go through them. We appreciate you tuning in. If you like this stuff, hit the thumbs up. If you're enjoying this, yeah, exactly. Some of these are going to be competitive. It's just the nature of the beast. Okay. But remember, if it's competitive, what that means is you're going to a place where there's cash buyers pooled together like fish, network, get to know them. Okay. They'll buy your properties. All right. Wayne County. We have not, I don't think we've done Wayne County. Okay. Let's see here. And it says demo to purchase. Some of these places and some of these sites have demo options where you can go and practice on the sites, which is great.
On that, I think it was actually like demolition. I think.
Oh,
maybe. Actually, you know what? Now that you say that, it's a good question.
So what can happen? Are you going to pull it up?
Yeah, I'll pull it up while you're going.
Okay, great. So one thing, guys, when you're seeing this stuff, so we have some stories of people buying like apartment buildings for like $50, $100. But sometimes there is conditions attached that maybe you do have to, there we go, demo to purchase. It says right there.
Which we don't really know what that means. It might mean what you think it means, that you might or may not need to demo it.
Let's see.
But this also has, okay. But in this case, this is good. This structure suffers from significant fire damage and must be demolished. So that might mean it needs to be completely demolished, or maybe it can be just that portion can be fixed, but something to consider in your max bid when you're trying to get your numbers.
Absolutely. Good stuff. And what's fun about this business, it's not a matter of if you guys are going to get good deals. Stick to it. Everybody we know gets awesome deals as long as they stick to it. Sure, maybe you go to 3 or 4 sales, things get bid up to market value, but then you go to another sale and things go for opening bid, right? This business, we've seen it change lives over the years. It's totally awesome for that. Let's see. Berks was recommended. Let's see. I'm sure you'll end up in Philly. Philly has some great auctions, which is great. Once again, guys, if you like this stuff, do me a favor, thumbs up, subscribe, which is great. Let's see. Monthly auctions are definitely happening all over the place. How's the market in Wisconsin? Yeah, Wisconsin is a good place to go. Remember, when you are in Wisconsin, you're dealing with deeds. Just be careful and use the site areavibes.com. so that you're making sure you're not buying stuff in bad areas. Because, things like places like Detroit, Wisconsin, all that sort of stuff, there can be some challenging areas which are out there. Okay, here we go. What type of fees do you consider when purchasing from an auction? So yeah, you're going to, obviously, sometimes they might have an upfront deposit to bid, which is refundable, which is fine. But when you get the property, 2 things. One thing to be aware of is make sure there isn't municipal liens on the property, because the beauty of these is when you buy them, wipes out the mortgages because the tax lien indeed is the priority lien. From there, the other thing to consider, you'll have to record the deed. So every state will have a bit of a different recording fee for their deed. And then from here, that, just ask the county what are going to be the fees associated. Let's see here.
And tax title services, if it's a deed that you need to clear the title on.
Yeah. So this was my first deal. Yeah, my first deal was 40 acres of land for $4,000, worth 20. Sold it for 15.8. From there, opened up the floodgates. Once you do that first deal in real estate, a mind expanded can never go back. So at that point, I went crazy. Back then, I was calling up people. I didn't have this directory. I was getting in the phone book, calling counties. And I found more properties in Minnesota. We went down, we bought up a whole bunch. We went to North Dakota. We're buying, flipping over the counter properties. I started wholesaling in my backyard. I literally never went back. And then within no time, I moved to California out of the cold. And since then, we've done hundreds of these deals, many in Philly, many in Texas, all over the place, which is great. Let's see. Robert, do you have a package on how to get started? Absolutely. It's totally free for everybody here. It is the ABCs of Tax Lien and Deed Investing, guys. This is the book on how to get started step by step, along with these videos. It's below. It's totally free. If you guys do want some mentoring or some one-on-one help, you can book a call. You can speak with us there. as well as Corey continues to make noise with
Yeah,
his
my apologies.
crazy eyes.
I was really trying not to.
Yeah, let's see here. Question about Maryland. Let's see. I know every
Ooh.
county has over-the-counter properties. So for those of you guys listening, an over-the-counter is kind of what we're looking at here. It's seized by the government. You can go buy these things. Like, there are thousands. For everybody here, there's thousands of these properties just sitting there right now. Sure, you have to put in a little bit of elbow grease. You know, you got to sort through. You got to read the rules. You need to, do some county research on these properties. But, like, what else is the option right now? The stock market, crypto, everything's crashing. And a lot of these guys now are going to be rushing into real estate. So the price of real estate is going to be going up. And this is your chance to get some cheap property to make some wealth. You can just keep flipping. These properties today, we started with $1,000, but we got guys that we talked to and that we coach that, one of them bought, was it Corey? It was like 9 acres worth $9 million. They got the over the counter for 390 on the lien and started foreclosing on this thing right away.
Yeah, that was a huge property.
Yeah. So no matter where you're at with tax liens and deeds, you guys can be starting with $20, $50 and build up from there. That's why it's one of the best ways into real estate. And then from there, you can start branching off into other places, but it allows you to get started in a secure way that can go as fast as you want. Can we send you the paperback book? So we used to sell the book on paperback, and then now we give it away for free digitally, so you can print it out and have it at home. Once again, the link is below in the interest rate. Let's see. Eddie is saying zero interest cards can be used to leverage. Yeah, guys, like, get some of these zero interest credit cards, use the bank's money, buy some of these properties, flip them, and don't ever look back. It is the best intro into real estate right now. We have perfect condition where interest rates are going up. The demand for real estate is going up. So because interest rates are going up, there's more of these properties coming to sale. So it's the perfect storm for folks to get started. Excellent. Right on. Good run of questions here today.
Ooh, wow.
We have the best dressed man in this game. I'm just a plain white shirt guy.
So nice.
Corey has a repertoire of beautiful color shirts, and I just wouldn't be able to pull it off. I just don't think I could. I'm just gonna be honest.
I don't know, man. Maybe for your birthday this year, I'll get you a really nice one.
Actually, I bought a cowboy hat. I got a nice cowboy hat. I'm going to a cowboy wedding this weekend, so maybe next time I'll bring out the cowboy hat. Maybe that'll be
I would die of laughter. That'd be amazing.
That'd be a thing. We can bring the cowboy hat out. Corey's got the nice shirts. I don't really have a thing going. I need a thing, right? I definitely need a thing. Some of these counties take credit cards. Tax liens are the real bank. Yeah, taxes have been around forever. This business has been around for 200 years. It's not going anywhere at all. So on that note, everybody, thanks a lot for tuning in. If you like this stuff, subscribe, thumbs up, ask us a question in the comments. We would love to hear from you. We just appreciate the fact that you guys take the time to tune in, and it's awesome. It's totally awesome. The age that we're living in, where you guys can be, as we put it elegantly, on the dumper.
That's right.
Learning about this. Maybe that'll be our one of our taglines. You can learn on the road or on the dumper. Nice. But it's so awesome, right? You can be learning this stuff. You can do it from home. The world has changed so much in the last 5, 10, 20 years to where there's so much opportunity. The one thing is that, like, just go deep on a topic, right? The internet is 1,000,000 miles wide, and you can just get lost out there. Take the stuff seriously, put in an hour or two a day, and you'll get some deals. You'll make some money. And it can be a really, Corey and I wouldn't be on this channel here live right now if it weren't for this business of tax liens and deeds. And we live a very nice life of flexibility. And as we see in the economy these days, you need extra income because the 9-to-5 is really hard to have a jump in income. And this business can allow you to buy some properties, flip them, make some extra cash while you're at it here. So let's see. Oh, what do we got here? I received 2 checks back from the county tax sale last year.
Nice.
Eddie, nice work, Eddie. And remember, in the lien states, you make the interest rate. Okay. We're not talking about that today. Half the states are tax liens, half the states are deeds. So in a lien state, you get an interest rate of up to 36%. As we saw, Eddie got 2 checks back. Very awesome. And if the tax lien doesn't redeem, you end up owning the property, which is very, very cool beans. So on that note, guys, once again, thanks for logging on. Thanks for asking the questions. In the description below, grab this, thumbs up. There's a link, all of that in the description to get it for free. Corey, thank you for joining today. We'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for tuning in.
All right. See y'all soon.